Alright, so starting off here with the 1960D. Now this is the small date. I'm gonna get into small date, large date here in just a second. They produced over 158 million of those coins. For the 1960 small date no mint mark penny, they produced over 588 million of those coins. So a lot of these coins out there in your pocket change. Here's an example of the small date, and then here's an example of the large date 1960D. Now here's an example of the small date 1960 no mint mark, and then here's an example of a 1960 large date no mint mark. If we look at this picture, it really shows the difference between those. You can see the difference between the large date on the right side of the screen and the small date there on the left side of the screen. Most noticeably, you see a big difference in the 6, and you can see that the O has a lot more space in it there on the large date on the inside of the 0, as opposed to the small date there on the left side of the screen. So a lot of different ways to tell whether you have a large date or small date. If you want to see your coins up close, I have coin microscopes available on couchcollectibles.com. Link is in the comments below. Alright, so first let's start off and get this one out of the way here. This is actually a roll of 1960 pennies, BU rolls, meaning brilliant uncirculated rolls of 1960 pennies that sold on eBay. Now this is only 50 cents worth of pennies that sold for over $180. So I would hope that these have never been circulated before, because someone did pay $180 for that roll of 1960 pennies. Alright, for the 1960D, we have something very important to look for here. Now this one here is very interesting. It is a double die obverse, so there's doubling on the front of the coin. You see doubling there on the date 1960, and it is also a re-punched mint mark, an RPM. So if we zoom in there to the D, you can see above the D that there's another D almost touching the 9 there. So that is a repunched mint mark. Now here's another example of that as well. We see the 1960 that is doubled, and then we see the RPM, the repunched mint mark, the D mint mark there at the bottom being repunched. So that is pretty amazing. Definitely want to look for this on every 1960 penny that you come across. So basically this is a small date over a large date pretty much. Alright, here is a penny that actually has the double die obverse, the small date over the large date. The die was sunk with the large date hub and then sunk again with the small date hub. Now here's an example of that penny that has those errors, the RPM plus the DDO, the small date over large date. And this penny here does have a high grade, a mint state 65. So it's a very good condition coin. If your penny does have this error and it's not so condition coin, it's not going to sell for as much. But this penny here sold for over $375. Now here's a 1960D that has the small date over large date. Now this penny here, because of that and because of its high grade of a mint state 66, this penny here sold for over $4,000. Now here's another example of that penny, same type of error. The only thing that this one has different is it's not a $4,000 penny because it doesn't have a mint state grade. You can see that the penny looks like it's been circulated. So this penny is graded at about uncirculated 50, and that's why this penny sold for a little over $65. So you go from a $65 coin to a $4,000 coin. That's a big range just based off the condition, which is the grade of the coin. Now here is a 1960 large date. Now this one doesn't have any errors. It's just an extremely high graded coin, mint state 67. If you're not familiar with coin grading, when you're on YouTube, just type in Couch Collectibles coin grading and you will find my videos on that. This penny sold for over $3,800. Now also on the 1960 large date, you want to also look for a repunched mint mark. Here's a couple examples of that. The D mint mark has been repunched. So there are numerous different examples of that on the 1960D, so always look for that underneath your coin microscope. Here is a 1960 small date with a high grade, doesn't have any errors. It's solely valuable because of this high grade of a mint state 67, and this penny here sold for over $4,600. Moving on to the 1960 proof penny. Now this is the small date and it is graded at a proof 68, so almost a perfect coin, as the coin grading scale only goes up to 70. Just an amazing looking penny here. This coin sold for over $5,000. That's right, $5,000. $1,000 penny. Today I got my friend Chris with me. Say what's up.
What's up?
So today is kind of a different video. I've never done one of these before. So Chris was my Young Life leader. If you guys are not familiar with Young Life, it's like a Christian organization that I was involved in high school. It impacts a lot of youth. What Chris does now is he works for FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, where he goes out to schools and helps impact student athletes. Can you talk like a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, a lot of what we do, coaches have a great influence on people, and athletics is something that I've participated in my whole life, and it's kind of shaped me. It teaches you discipline, teaches you respect, teaches you really how to work hard. With athletics, it has such an influence. There's not a lot of people coaching coaches. And so FCA has a really big heart to help coaches coach in a different dimension other than just coaching a physical thing. We want to coach the whole athlete, the emotional side of them, but also the holism, teaching them about character and identity. And in sports you lose sometimes, and so how do you respond to that? And so FCA is really big on going onto campuses, meeting face to face with coaches, loving on them, asking them how their family's doing, asking them how we can be praying for them, how we can be serving them, and then we'll interact with athletes in kind of the same way and teaching them leadership skills, teaching them how to respond to adversity, how to win right, and things like that.
Alright, so basically why I'm creating this video is to kind of help Chris and what he's doing, because I believe in his vision and his mission. So FCA is fueled through donors and supporters, so that's how the ministry thrives, through supporting and donating. I'm personally donating every month specifically to Chris and his mission. So I spent a lot of years in athletics, track and cross country specifically, and it was a blast, man. I had so much fun. Chris and a couple other guys came into my life and had a huge impact on me. So athletics has always had a huge foundation for discipline for myself. I know when I was running, it taught me so much. I love seeing athletes being made into whole people. So if this is something that you think that you would support or something that you believe in, click the link down below in the comments below. It will direct you to a page where you can personally donate to my buddy Chris here. It's all tax deductible. It is a non-profit organization. So if you guys are interested in that, or you really feel like that's something for you, feel free. That would be awesome if you guys could support my friend Chris. That would mean so much to me, and I'm sure it would mean a lot to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, guys, thanks for the opportunity just to share about a little bit about what I'm doing, my career change, and keep supporting what Couch is doing. He's a great guy, and yeah, I'm excited for FCA to kind of take off. So appreciate you guys.
All right, guys. Until tomorrow, I'll see you all in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles and Chris, and this is where we disappear.